Alright, so check it out. I'm about to show you how to install Putt and Pep's Rama for free. Now, if you want to skip this tutorial, you can just purchase the game itself for $4.99 on Steam. If you want it for free, just continue watching. So, first step in this tutorial, we're going to install VirtualBox. You'll select your OS here, depending on what you're running. So I'm running Windows. We'll install that real quick. All right, and then we will just double click the install file. And we'll run through this setup real quick. Just leave everything default here. All right, and then pretty quick setup, so we'll just finish and it will open. Perfect. All right, so the next step is to install the Windows XP ISO file so we can run it on VirtualBox. So at the time of making this video, the Internet Archive, they actually had a DDoS attack, it looks like, which is pretty interesting that this happened when I wanted to record this. So if you go to X, it looks like, yes, they did have a DDoS attack. So what I will do, I'm going to go ahead and upload the Windows XP ISO, and then I'm also going to list the product ID in the description below. So that way, if that happens again, you can install it that way. Otherwise, I'll still link the main file in the Internet Archive website, so it'll probably be back up pretty soon, I'd imagine. So check there first, and if it's still down, go to Mediafire and install it that way. So if you're going to use my Mediafire link, you would just click this download option here, and it will start to install Windows XP. Alright, and now that we have the Windows XP ISO file here, what I'd like to do is create a new folder in my documents and just title that ISO. And then we will drag it over there and put it in the ISO folder right here. That way it stays there, you don't have to touch it anymore. And then what we'll do, we'll load up VirtualBox. We'll do new, and then we can just title this XP, and then we will select the ISO image. Perfect. And then we will keep everything default here, just click next. What we'll have to do is change the host name to at least 3 characters. So I'll just do XXX, and it allows you to do next from there. And then what I usually do for the base memory, we can just bump this up to 2. We can do 1 gig, that's fine. Actually, no, let's do 2 gigs just to play it safe. Yeah. And then processors, 1 should be fine for CPU. Next. For the game, 10 gigs is fine. Next, finish. All right. And then it will start booting up. Alright, and now we'll just enter that product key that I gave you in the description below. We will have to type this out manually to begin with, since we're just now starting up our virtual machine. Alright, next thing I like to do first, just to make it look a little bit better, is change the resolution. So just right click the desktop, properties, we'll go to settings, and then you can play around with these settings here for the resolution, but for me, I like this option here, apply, yes, that looks a little bit better. Alright, the next step is to install the game ISO file. Now, again, the Internet Archive is down due to that DDoS attack, so I will upload the MediaFire link in the description below so you can install it. Alright, and once you have the game ISO file, you'll notice you can't drag and drop it in here, so we'll have to go to Devices. And I like to enable the shared keyboard. You want to make sure that's bi-directional. And then we'll go back to devices and then drag and drop. We'll change that to bi-directional as well. And then if we try it now, it'll fail due to an error. And it's because this guest editions isn't installed. So we will go to devices again. And then we'll select the insert guest edition CD image. And then that's just a virtual CD. So we'll go to start, my computer, and then you'll see the application that we can install here. So we'll double click that and go through the process of installing that. I just keep everything default like usual. And then we'll reboot the computer. Alright, and after the reboot, we should be able to drag and drop it in here. Alright, perfect. Here it is. Alright, so we are almost done. This is the last step. You'll notice you can't run this ISO file alone in Windows XP. You can on Windows 10, but not XP. So in order to get this running, we'll have to install WinCDEmu. And then we'll just go to the website here and download. And then we'll just drag and drop it into XP. And then now we can just run through the install like normal. And I'll select customize install. Always like to do that just to see what I can change. Nothing really. And install is complete, so pretty fast. And then yeah, so now we will be able to run the ISO. So just right click that, open with, and I always like to select this option. You always want to run it with this program. Okay, it will mount a virtual CD drive, and then you can change these settings if you want. Press OK. And that's all there is to it. So you can start playing the game like normal.
Hang on tight to those balloons, Pep. Uh-oh. Come on, Pep. We've got to go get those balloons.